Um, I'm going to talk about how the planes of existence affect the physiology of the ETs. There are different types of ETs visiting this planet. People assume that they're all got similar physiology, and this isn't correct. It depends on which dimension they come from. We've been in what's called what people are calling it 3D, which is really should be called the third universal planar tonal, where the frequency is very low. There's a lot of distortion in the waves, a lot of clashing, a lot of misalignment, like it's a lot of eddy currents as you get in what's known as eddy currents in electricity, which is blockages. As you get further up the tonals, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all the way up, these blockages disappear and the waves become more and more aligned, more and more what's called fractally nested, where they're all lined up together in vortices. The waves we see on the screen and an oscilloscope or any other sort of electrical device is all 2D, and the waves are actually tubes which are 3D, which have got winding and unwinding vortices in at different angles. I only know the basics of this, but this doesn't seem to be up anywhere on the internet. Anyway, this affects organic life. I'm not telling you the truth about how cellular biology works and how genetics works. There is a tendency as the planes go up for the physiology to become more advanced, because there's more information within these waves. As the waves become more aligned, the internal structure then becomes more aligned. There's more and more information runs through them. Like on a silicon chip, the early silicon chips had so many lines on them, and they were primitive and only could carry so much information. But as time got on, the stamping of the chip became more and more complex, and there became more and more storage was allowed on the chip, because there was more and more lines on there at a smaller and smaller level. So the chips became more efficient and it could store more information. It's the same with energy. Energy stores information, and it depends on the alignment of the energies and how they line up against each other. And as you go further up from the 3rd, 4th, the 5th plane, you get more and more advancement of physiology, because the physiology is all affected by the underlying energy field, the background field, which is part of our what's called electro-holographic reality. Why this is so important at the minute is because we're going from 3D, we're just about into 4D now, or fourth universal electroplanar tonal, and we're going to have a lot more contact with these ETs. These ETs were coming here were from the 4th and 5th, most of them, 4th and 5th planar tonal, and they had to suit up or use equipment in order to come down into our environment because their atomic structure would explode. This is one of the things that's been hidden. Most of the ones in 4D, or some of the ones in 4D, aren't very nice in this area of the galaxy, and they've been enslaving and manipulating humanity for an awful long time. This doesn't happen when you get the 5D or 6D, because there's too much purity in the information field, and there's too much of a link to the creator, too much compassion. Emotions actually waveform as well. There's a lot of low emotions here because of the distortion in the field. As you get further up, these low emotions disappear once you get past 4D. and you get the 5D, and you get what's called the pure planar levels, they're called, once you get up to 5D. I don't know if you can see this diagram, but I'll show you. The waves, there you are, I don't know if you can see it. We're starting at 3 and moving upwards into the top one, which is 5th. These waves are going up and up and up, and as the frequency increases, their alignment increases, the internal alignment, because they're actually three-dimensional structures. Internally, they're three-dimensional structures. They're not two-dimensional structures, and they've got winding and unwinding vortex, which start to spin faster. And when they do this, there's more alignment in their internal structure, and this causes what Cliff High calls hyper novelty. More complexity of life forms. It also exists at a plant level as well. Plants become more complex, and our universe isn't solid. It just appears solid. It appears solid when these vortices that hit each other at certain angulations, which creates a solidity. The one vortex which has got one angulation has got to have a similar sort of vortex angulation for them to hit, and when they hit, this creates solidity. When the vortices are moving differently, they just go and they pass each other, and this is why people can't see the higher fourth plane, the 5th, 6th, 7th dimension, because it's not solid to us. Our reality only exists within certain parameters, either a bottom and a top of these waveforms, high frequencies. Earth frequency is changing. It used to be about 7 hertz, which is 7 pulses a second, but we have been hitting 35 sometimes recently because of emissions from the sun, because we're getting closer and closer to galactic centre. Galactic centre gives off higher emissions. As you go closer into the galaxy, you have a tendency to have higher emissions, more internal alignment to the structure of the waves, and more advanced life forms. There's more advanced life forms in the middle of the galaxy than there is on the outside of the galaxy, where all the dark stuff is. Where the low frequencies are, where the dissonance is, where the distortions are. The good guys who are coming here are the ones from the Pleiades system. They don't call themselves that, they actually call themselves the Confederation of Planets, or the Pleiadian Confederation of Planets. You've got the Andromedans coming here from Andromedan constellation. You've got the Syrians coming here. You've got them coming here from Arcturus, Cassiopeia, and lots of other places from the 5th universal planar tonal. And these guys are the good guys because they're just made that way, because their energy is different and their physiology is different, and they're more connected to Creator. Unfortunately, the people here in charge have been selling out to the ones who are 4D and are corrupt. A lot of them have very low emotions or no emotions whatsoever. And this has been a big problem here. And people need to become aware of the difference between the good ETs and the bad ETs. We're getting a lot of help now. There's actually a lot more good ET races here than bad. We've had big problems with 5 main races, which I'm not going to cover now. I think you can find them on the internet anyway, but I will cover them. But that's basically the difference between the ETs. If you see an ET and it turns up in a light ship, then they're the good guys. If it turns up into one that's clunking with heavy metal, then that's one of the bad ones to avoid. Anyway, my name's Alan Watson. Thanks for listening. I'll do another video about the types of ET later on. Okay, thank you.